Peace to everybody. This is about R. Kelly refused transport and was a no-show for court hearing, prosecutors say. And as you can see right here is R. Kelly with his crisis manager, and I'm not sure who the other guy is, but he was a no-show in court today. Accused sex trafficker R. Kelly was a no-show in court Thursday after he refused transport from his federal jail cell to state court, prosecutors said. So R. Kelly was a no-show in court today. He refused transport from his federal jail cell to state court. Now, why is that? Why did he refuse it? Was he afraid of getting beat up or something? Makes you kind of wonder. A routine pre-trial hearing updating a judge on evidence and bail issues went on without him, but Cook County Judge Lawrence Flood wanted to know why Kelly didn't make it court. And so Judge Lawrence Flood wanted to know why Kelly didn't make it court. Of course, there was a routine pre-trial hearing updating a judge on evidence and bail issues, and of course it went on without him. The defendant was to be brought to court today. That was all worked out. The sheriffs were going to be bringing him over, said Cook County Assistant State's Attorney Jennifer Gonzalez said. So the defendant was supposed to be in court today, but and it was all worked out. Even the sheriffs were going to be bringing him over there, but unfortunately that didn't happen. So he refused it. And I understand it. He refused transport, and so that is why the defendant is not before your honor today, Gonzalez said. So she understands. He refused transport. And of course, that is why the defendant is not before your honor today. So why wouldn't he go to court today like he should have been? I mean, he's going to keep missing courts. If he keeps missing court dates, he's never going to get out. And unfortunately, he's not going to get out anyways because he allegedly did all these criminal crimes that he did against all these women. Defense lawyer Steve Greenberg said that's not 100% true, but declined to fully explain why his client didn't make out of the Metropolitan Correctional Center in downtown Chicago. Well, first of all, Steve Greenberg needs to shut his trap. All right. He does need to shut his trap. And then he said, oh, but declined to fully explain. Explain what? What is there to explain about his client did not make it out of the Metropolitan Correctional Center in downtown Chicago? Why is that? And Steve Greenberg is just a puppet. He's an actor for all this mess. I don't want to discuss matters that I discussed with the U.S. Marshal Service in open court, Greenberg said. Suffice it to say, the Marshal Service says that moving Mr. Kelly is a large undertaking. How is it large taking? How is it a large undertaking? I don't get it. Steve Greenberg, I don't know. I mean, this is the worst actor ever. Steve Greenberg is the worst actor ever. And he said of the Marshal Service that he don't want to discuss matters that I discussed with the U.S. Marshals. Now, what could him and the U.S. Marshals have talked about? We don't even know what they talked about. Kelly is facing federal sex abuse charges in Illinois and New York, where he's accused of moving victims across state lines. He has pleaded not guilty to federal charges. He faces similar state court charges in Cook County, Illinois, and Hennepin County, Minnesota. he has not yet had the opportunity to enter a plea in that case. So R. Kelly is facing federal sex abuse charges, obviously, in New York and Illinois. And of course, he was accused of moving victims across state lines, and it is illegal. When you have the Mann Act, that is illegal. And what R. Kelly did was totally illegal. He has pleaded not guilty to federal charges. He faces similar state court cases in Cook County, Illinois, and Hennepin County, Minnesota. So the Minnesota was the new charges that he had been recently put on him. Kelly has been the subject of sexual abuse allegations for almost 2 decades, some of them alleging acts as far back as 1998. He has vigorously denied the allegations. Well, you know what? R. Kelly could deny all he wants. And if he thinks he could hire Michael Jackson's lawyer that Michael Jackson had, guess again, because he did not say that he was willing to take on R. Kelly's case or not. R. Kelly has Steve Greenberg. That's his lawyer, not Michael Jackson's lawyer. Kelly has been the subject of sexual abuse allegations for almost 2 decades. So that's 20 years of allegations that were put on him. And of course, you know, there all these women that came out allegedly and told their story. The singer's next court date in Chicago state case is September 17th, and Judge Flood reminded both sides will have Mr. Kelly here then. So the next court date is September 17th, and of course Judge Flood have reminded both sides we'll have Mr. Kelly here then. So that means R. Kelly better show up at that court, because if he don't, he's going to be in trouble. And of course, you know, when you have court dates also, you got to show up to them. But R. Kelly, I don't know what his problem is skipping out on court, because, you know, yes, he is accused of having all these sexual abuse charges against him. And you know what? He probably does deserve it. Maybe. I don't know. But all these women came out and told their story. So, you know, and I pray that whatever fate R. Kelly gets, he's going to get. Leave your comments below. I am out.